Good morning, folks. This is Kyle Wheeler with the National Weather Service in San Diego, here to bring you your weekly weather video for the week of February 11th, 2025, where we'll be talking about a pretty impactful atmospheric river event coming to our area later this week. To summarize what we'll be going through, we have strong wind gusts for today and tonight across the deserts, mountains, and outer coastal waters, ahead of our main event, which is once again the atmospheric river that will bring us light rain beginning on Wednesday, and then more moderate to heavy rain getting into Thursday and Friday, particularly eyeing that Thursday night time frame to see some of our heaviest precipitation across the area. And along with that, we're going to be seeing some high elevation mountain snowfall and strong winds returning for the deserts and mountains and outer coastal waters Thursday into Friday. And then after all that clears out, we're going to be seeing drier and warmer conditions for the weekend and onward. So to start things off this week, we're going to be seeing a weak upper level low bring strong wind gusts to the deserts and mountains. Particularly, we're expecting widespread wind gusts of about 35 to 50 miles an hour across the high and low deserts this afternoon and evening, with some of our desert slopes of the mountains and wind-prone locations seeing wind gusts as high as 60 to maybe even 70 miles an hour in spots. And out over the coastal waters tonight into tomorrow morning, we're also expecting gusts of about 25 to 30 knots. And as we get into the day on Wednesday, the biggest rain event of our season so far will be just getting started. And what we expect is this storm system will occur in two waves, the first of which will be having generally light rain moving across the area Wednesday into Wednesday night ahead of the main wave, which will occur more Thursday night into Friday. And with this initial wave, like I said, it's going to be generally light. The highest totals will probably be over San Diego County, where some spots from the coast all the way to the mountains could see half an inch to maybe an inch along the higher elevations. And anywhere north of San Diego County should generally expect less than half an inch unless you're once again at those higher elevations. Now, as we get into Thursday and Thursday night, we're going to start seeing that main band of moderate to heavy rainfall move across our region from west to east. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring widespread 1 to upwards of 3 inches of rain across the coastal and valley areas all the way through the Inland Empire. And so some of our higher elevations could see even higher totals, particularly eyeing the San Bernardino Mountains. Anywhere from Wrightwood out to Big Bear Lake could see 3 plus to maybe even 5 inches in localized spots. So this is going to be a very high rain totals relative to what we've been seeing so far this season. Even the high and low deserts are going to get it on this. They're going to be seeing anywhere from a quarter of an inch all the way up to maybe even an inch in spots for some of the desert locations. And overall, this is going to be a very beneficial event for the area. However, what we're concerned about here is, especially Thursday night, we're going to be seeing some relatively high rainfall rates that could lead to flooding in spots. And we'll get more into that in just a second. So highlighted in green here is the area we have included in our flood watch for this heavier band of precipitation moving through the area on Thursday and Friday. Particularly, we're highlighting the time frame from 1 p.m. Thursday into 4 p.m. Friday, 4 a.m. Friday. And what we're looking at in that time frame is maximum rainfall rates anywhere from 0.3 to 0.5 or half an inch per hour. And that could happen anywhere in this highlighted region. And on the coastal slopes of the mountains, we could even see rainfall rates upwards of 3/4 of an inch per hour associated with the heavier precip, particularly Thursday night. And so that's kind of concerning because it could lead to localized flooding here and there along the coasts and valleys. But what we're really worried about is these burn scars that we have been left behind from this past fire season, particularly up in the San Bernardino Mountains. If we get rainfall rates of even a half inch or more, that could trigger some serious mudslide potential in the areas surrounding the burn scars. So make sure that you're paying close attention to that. We'll be issuing our burn scar briefings to our partners throughout the week to try and keep on top of things, but that is a serious concern for this atmospheric river event this week. So getting into the snowfall for this event, the snow levels will actually be starting fairly low on Wednesday, but since the precipitation will be so light on Wednesday, we're not expecting much accumulation for elevations such as 5 to 6,000 feet. Areas like Big Bear and Wrightwood and Idlewild could start off as light snow on Wednesday, but it really won't be more than maybe an inch or two in these areas. And then snow levels quickly rise as we get into the bulk of this system on Thursday night. As is generally expected with atmospheric rivers, our snow levels rise all the way up to maybe about 8,000 feet during the peak of this event. But what that means for our really high elevations, 8,000 plus feet, is that they will be catching in on a large amount of snowfall as is seen on the map. But luckily, most of our mountain communities and roads are not getting up to that elevation. So impacts will be minimal for most mountain communities. And as we get on the back end of this system on Friday, the snow levels will fall once again back down to about 6,000 feet, and we could briefly transition back to snow in areas like Big Bear Lake once again. But once again, the precip will be light on the back end of this system as well. So generally speaking, snow totals will be maybe a couple of inches at 6,000 to 6,500 feet. Beyond Friday, it's looking like the precipitation is going to finally taper off Friday night into Saturday morning, and we'll kind of get back to some of our regularly scheduled programming for this year, this weekend and onward, with temperatures returning to near average and no big storms on the heels of this one. So luckily this storm this week is going to be bringing a lot of beneficial rainfall for our area, especially considering we are now in a severe drought across most of Southern California. But this is not indicative of some major pattern change, it seems. And whether or not we get more rain moving forward, beyond next week is still kind of up in the air. But as of right now, this is the only big system we're monitoring in the near future. And that'll just about do it for this week's weather video. As always, we've listed some resources below where you can look at some real-time weather data, alerts, and detailed forecasts if you want it. And also make sure to follow us on X, YouTube, and Facebook. And as always, stay safe, and we'll see you out there next week.